What is up, guys? We are back with another video, and today we're checking out this keyboard right here, which is basically turned into my favorite keyboard of 2021. It is the iQunix A80 Explorer. So let's go ahead and take a look. If you haven't heard of iQunix, they make keyboards and a few other products. Now, they're mainly known for their keyboards, and last year I was introduced to the company through their F96 keyboard. I fell in love with that keyboard. It was basically the best keyboard that I had ever used up until that point. And I loved it so much that I actually bought a second one in a different colorway, so I'd have one for my main computer and one for my test bench. So iQunix definitely has a lot to live up to when it comes to their A80 Explorer. As far as everything that comes with the keyboard, you get a user's guide, Type-C to Type-A USB cable, extra keycaps for Mac users, a 2.4 gigahertz wireless receiver, keycap and switch puller, a cleaning brush, and a set of iQunix stickers. Now, it's really cool that the included USB cable is made to match the keyboard, so you don't have to go out and buy another cable. This cable matches this keyboard specifically, so it's gonna look really good if you're using this in a wired setting. The first thing you're gonna notice about this keyboard, just like other iQunix keyboards, is the colorway. It's a very unique slate blue with yellow and white accents and looks absolutely amazing. It goes so well together, and the nice thing about the colorway is not just the keycaps, it's built into the entire chassis as well. The chassis on the keyboard is plastic, but it does feel very solid, and there's absolutely no flex in the keyboard at all. Talking about the size of the keyboard, this is an 80% keyboard, which is basically 10% smaller than most 87 key keyboards. I would say it's a more crunched down version of a 10 keyless keyboard. So your arrow keys and the keys that would be above them are basically moved over into the main area of the keyboard. With this, you have a footprint that's slightly larger than a 60% keyboard, which people with limited desk space are definitely gonna appreciate. Now, for those wondering, I'll go ahead and put the official dimensions of the keyboard like right here. One of the more interesting things about this keyboard is how the top function row is positioned. These keys are elevated and angled towards you. iQunix calls this a terraced structure design. It's definitely different, and there's also a really cool indication LED between the escape key and the start of the function row. When it comes to keycaps, iQunix is making use of PBT keycaps. You have to use PBT keycaps if you want anybody to take your keyboard seriously. They're just so much better. They don't show any shine. They're much more comfortable than normal ABS keycaps that you're gonna find on most other gaming keyboards. These keycaps do not have see-through legends, so if you're gonna get the RGB version of the keyboard, you're not gonna get any shine through. Under those keycaps are, of course, our key switches. And in our version of the keyboard, we have Cherry MX Blue mechanical key switches. iQunix is offering the keyboard in Cherry MX brown, red, blue, pink, and silver, as well as Gateron brown, red, and blue switches. The really cool thing about this keyboard is the switches themselves are hot swappable, so you can fully remove the switches from the board itself and then, install your own switches. So if you end up getting into mechanical keyboards later down the line, or you're already into them and you want to swap out for some custom switches or try different switches out, you can go ahead and do that with this keyboard. As we look at the keyboard from the side, we can see that it already sits at an angle, and we can see just how interesting that terraced structure design really is. For those who are looking for more of a typing angle, there are pop-out feet on the bottom of the keyboard, which add 2 more angles of adjustment. On the top edge of the keyboard, we have our USB Type-C connection, which is on the far left. Flipping the keyboard over, there are 4 small rubber feet, the pop-out feet that I mentioned, and a small switch to change between wired and wireless modes. Now, there are a few different ways to set up the A80 Explorer. The most obvious, of course, is just plugging it in with the included USB cable. I think this keyboard looks excellent with the included USB cable, especially because the USB cable matches the keyboard itself. The next is using the keyboard wirelessly. Now, I would suggest if you're using a PC to use the 2.4 gigahertz dongle. So first, go ahead and plug it into your PC, and then next, flip the keyboard over and switch it to wireless mode. And then when you do that, you will notice a blue LED blinking on the keyboard itself. That means it's in Bluetooth mode. We want to switch from Bluetooth mode to 2.4 gigahertz mode. In order to do that, we hit function and then 4, and we'll be in 2.4 gigahertz mode because we have a pink LED flashing. Then what you want to do is function 4, hold it in, and then it will blink rapidly, and it should easily connect to your 2.4 gigahertz dongle. For Bluetooth mode, we want to switch from 2.4 gigahertz mode into Bluetooth mode. So to do that, function and then number 1. And this will light up teal and blink slowly. So what you want to do is function and then slow press 1. And then it's going to go into Bluetooth pairing mode. So it's going to change color to blue and blink very rapidly. Then what you should do is on your device, so I have my iPhone here, we'll go to Bluetooth, and we can see the iQunix A80B. We click that, and pairing request on my phone, and we pair and we're connected. And then let's go into Notepad, Notes, and you can see we're typing here on our Bluetooth device. This also works with your PC if you have a Bluetooth enabled PC, but as I said, you probably want to use the 2.4 gigahertz connection for your PC because it does have less latency. If you do, for some reason, it does not connect, you may need to reset your keyboard. So in order to reset your keyboard, you'll hold function and the space bar for 5 seconds, and the keyboard will light up white here, and it will completely reset. And that resets all of your Bluetooth devices as well as your 2.4 gigahertz dongle. If you are using the keyboard wirelessly, one of the things you want to keep track of is the battery level. So in order to do that, we hit function and B, and the LED will light up white and it will blink at you. And the amount of blinks is the amount of battery level that you have left. Each blink is 10%. So we'll go ahead and we'll do it again, and we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're at 100% battery level. But again, that's a way to check to see how much battery you have left in the keyboard. For those wondering about battery life, we have a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which is huge, which means that this keyboard isn't gonna run out anytime soon and you won't have to charge it all that often. All right, so when it comes to RGB lighting, it's not gonna be the best on this keyboard, as you can see. The whole reason for that is obviously we have keycaps that are dark. The white keycaps, or all the keycaps, don't have see-through legends either, so you're not going to see the RGB lighting all that much. This is in a normal room that I'm in right now. This is the best you're really gonna get in a lighted room. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the lights off so you guys can really see what the RGB lighting looks like. So with the lights off, we have a better look at the RGB lighting. Now, there is no software for this keyboard, so you have to do all of your lighting configuration on the keyboard itself. Now, if you just want to turn the RGB lighting off, you don't want it on, you just hold the function key and delete, and that turns the RGB lighting on or off. If you want to adjust brightness, page up and page down are for lighting brightness. So function, let's go page down. I think there's 4 different levels and completely off. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's as bright as the keyboard's going to get. Now, if you want to go ahead and change the effect, so this is like, I don't know what you would call this effect. It's actually my favorite effect on the keyboard. But if you want to change the effect, we'll go through the different effects. I believe there's 7 of them. So we hit function and then home, and that will change the effect. So here, I believe this is just a solid effect. So just solid lighting, and you can change the color of the effect. So hit function and then end, and you can see we can cycle through the different colors. And there is a rainbow color, and this will be a rainbow color for all of the effects, which I'll leave it on actually. So we'll go to the next effect. And this is a wave. And again, I can change the color of that wave as I said. So if we wanted to do it red or any other color, again, I'll go back to the rainbow and we'll go to the next effect. And this is sort of like a changing. It changes in between the different colors. As you can see here, we're going to blue. We'll go again. And we can also change the speed of the effect as well. So what we can do is, I believe, just function arrow up, which will change the speed. So you can see this one's going much faster. And then we can slow it down as well. So now we have it going pretty slow here. Let's go ahead to the next effect. And this is a lighted effect. So if I type, you can see the keys light up as I'm typing. And again, we can change the color of the keys. It's just on rainbow right now, so it'll be just different for each one. Go to the next effect, and this is one of my favorites. This is the, we'll speed that up a little bit so it looks a little bit better. Let's go to function. There we go. So now we have the effect. This is one of my favorite ones. I guess this is like a water drop, you could call it. But as you type, we'll go out and we'll go again. And then we're back to my favorite effect or setting here for the keyboard. So that is the lighting effects. Again, you can't do like per key or anything like that. Again, you have like 7 different effects, and then you can change the color per effect. But overall, the lighting is not obviously the selling point of this keyboard. No keyboard review would be complete without a typing test. So here is what it sounds like to type on the A80 Explorer with Cherry MX Blue switches. So I've been using this keyboard for about a month now, and I absolutely love it. So let me tell you about my use case and how I use this keyboard, obviously the design and the color, and who I think this keyboard is for. Now, as far as usage, I mean, I mainly use this for gaming and writing reviews and doing my daily tasks, and it is extremely comfortable. As I said, there's no flex in this keyboard whatsoever. It's just, it's a solid keyboard. PBT keycaps plus mechanical key switches. I'm using Cherry MX Blues here, and it's just an excellent keyboard. It feels really comfortable. I feel like I get in that zone. I always talk about that when it comes to keyboards, like it's effortless to type. Just excellent overall as far as comfort goes. The only weird thing is the terrace design up here. If you use your function keys a lot, it just takes a little bit of time to get used to pressing these keys up here. Now, I don't use my function row all that much, so it's not the biggest deal to me. You know, and the next thing, of course, is how this keyboard looks. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful keyboard. And the one thing I really like about iQunix is they not only do they give you really cool looking keycaps, but they continue the colorway throughout the entire chassis of the keyboard. So you have a complete awesome looking keyboard out of the box. And with this keyboard, they even continued that with the included cable here. So your USB cable actually matches the keyboard, which is awesome. So this keyboard's gonna look awesome on your desk. I think it looks awesome sitting right here. One of the really nice things that they added with this keyboard is the 2.4 gigahertz wireless receiver. If you are a gamer, you know that anything, you know, above 1 millisecond isn't gonna be good enough. When you connect via Bluetooth, it's anywhere between 6 to 8 milliseconds, but with a 2.4 gigahertz receiver, you know, you get 1 millisecond response time, which is great for gaming. So it's nice that they kind of included that with this keyboard. Connecting via Bluetooth is easy enough as well, and it makes it so I can use this keyboard, you know, with my other laptop or like an iPad or anything like that. It just makes it super easy to connect and have a great typing experience, whether I'm traveling or whatever it may be. The only real downside to this keyboard, I would say, is that there's no software. So if you're a gamer and you're reliant on macros, you need to find a third-party app. You can't reprogram the keyboard or do anything like that. You also can't change the RGB lighting with software. You have to do it on the keyboard itself. So that is a little bit of a downside, and definitely something to think about if you're somebody who does have a ton of macros for all your games and everything like that. But who do I think this is for? I think this is for somebody like me. I'm somebody who hasn't got into building my own keyboard, right? I know nothing about, building my own keyboard and any of that stuff. There's some great YouTubers out there who teach you all that kind of stuff, but I just haven't got into that yet. And I want a kind of semi-custom mechanical keyboard that's going to look awesome on my desk, that's going to have great components, and this keyboard is it. Out of the box, it's ready to go, right? It looks awesome, it has everything I want, everything matches, and it's just good to go. And that's why I really love this keyboard. It's going to give you that, custom-made look without being custom-made, which is great. And what's even better is down the line, you can swap out the switches if you want. So if you end up getting into building your own keyboard or, things like that, you can swap out the switches, try new switches, kind of do all that kind of stuff that will get you to that next level as far as learning how to build your own mechanical keyboard. You can do that with this keyboard as well. So that's who I really think this is for, but I absolutely love this keyboard. Probably my favorite keyboard of 2021. Now it's selling for $189 on Amazon, which I think is a great price. That is Cherry MX Blue switches, RGB backlighting, and all of that. I think you should just go for the RGB version because I think it's only a $10 difference between the non-RGB and RGB. So overall, like I said, an excellent keyboard. So if you have any questions about this keyboard, definitely go ahead and leave it in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up. We'll see you guys in the next video.